All right, time to check out the state of the franchise of the Eagles, presented by Dodge. And after last year's spending spree, the Eagles have remained relatively quiet, adding just two notable players from outside the organization, former Texans Pro Bowl linebacker DeMeco Ryans and former Bills quarterback Trent Edwards. They also signed DeSean Jackson and guard Evan Mathis to long-term deals. Here's Andy Reid on the receivers with Steve Wyche.
Getting DeSean Jackson signed to that long-term deal, how important was that to get done?
I think it was a good thing. You know, it was great. He brings great energy to our football team. He's in a good place. He's excited about the upcoming season. I think if you ask the defensive coaches around the league, they'll probably tell you he's a pretty good player.
You got Plaxico Burress out there continuing to say he wants to link up with Mike Vick and come join you guys in Philadelphia. Any thoughts on him possibly joining the Eagles?
Well, they're buddies. You know, they grew up together. Plax's a little bit older, but they grew up together, and I know they're friends. And so, Plax, I got a ton of respect for Plax. He's a big old kid that's had a great career. Right now, that's not where we're at, but that doesn't take anything away from his game. He can play now.
All right, Tori, so the end of the year, clearly very tough for DeSean Jackson. Now he's got his long-term deal. Last season was really the only season other than his rookie year that he didn't have 1,000 yards. Do you see him bouncing back next season now that he's got his deal?
You know what? I really do. I think now that that's behind him, you saw last year some of the separation from the team and from the management, some of the drops, some of the mishaps, some of the pouting that was going on with DeSean Jackson. I think it had a lot to do with the contract situation. Now that that's behind him, I expect the guy to come out 70-some-odd catches, 1,200 yards, 10-plus touchdowns. He's that type of guy. You heard Andy Reid talk about the energy and the competitiveness that he brings to that club. Now that the contract is settled, he has his money. Now he can just focus on playing football, being the top receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's also going to help him if they get Mike Vick healthy for 16 weeks. And also Jeremy Maclin can come on and help him out. We could see a big-time year out of DeSean Jackson.
And they have a full offseason to get the defense together. And speaking of the defense, Andy Reid at the annual meeting, which is where he caught up with Steve, said he goofed at the linebacker and safety spot this last year, going too young. So what is DeMeco Ryans' impact going to have on this defense, do you think?
You're talking about a legitimate Pro Bowl guy with DeMeco Ryans and a leader. That's the number one thing that's coming out of Houston. Even his ex-teammates, Tonio Smith and J.J. Watt, talked about his leadership. Very instinctive, tough. They haven't had a middle linebacker at the Philadelphia Eagles since Jeremiah Trotter, who's been a constant. Now you bring in Ryans. You got some other guys that can move back to their natural positions, and he can come in. And now you also have a pure signal caller at the middle linebacker position. You got to have that in the middle at the linebacker position. You also have to have that at safety. I think DeMeco Ryans comes in and gives them instant credibility there at the linebacker.
And I think you said it exactly right. His former teammates were crestfallen that he was going to the Eagles. All right.